Have you ever felt that everyone else is moving forward while you're standing still? You open your phone and someone is traveling the world. Someone just got promoted. Someone is getting married. Someone bought their dream house. Someone is celebrating a milestone that you haven't reached yet. And without even realizing it, a quiet voice begins to whisper, "I'm falling behind." We rarely notice how often we compare our lives to someone else's highlight reel. We convince ourselves that if we don't keep moving, keep achieving, keep chasing, we'll miss out on a life we were supposed to have. So we rush. We fill every hour. We say yes to everything. We fear being left behind. But here's a question. What if the life you're chasing is the very reason you're missing the life you're living? Perhaps peace isn't found by keeping up with everyone else. Perhaps it begins the moment you stop running, take a slow breath, and welcome to English with Peace. Have you ever noticed how life can begin to feel like a race no one remembers signing up for? As children, we weren't worried about timelines. We didn't compare our mornings to someone else's afternoons. We celebrated the little things: a sunny day, a favorite song, ice cream on a warm afternoon, running barefoot across the grass. Life felt slow because we were fully inside it. But somewhere along the way, the race began. In school, we compared grades. Later, we compared universities, then careers, salaries, relationships, homes, vacations, followers, even happiness. Without realizing it, we stopped asking, "Am I happy?" and started asking, "Am I ahead?" The strange thing is, no one ever tells us when we finally won, because the finish line keeps moving. You get the promotion, and suddenly someone else has a bigger one. You buy your first home, then you compare it to another. You finally achieve a goal, only to discover the world has already created a new standard. It's exhausting, not because you're failing, but because you're chasing a finish line that doesn't exist. Imagine running on a treadmill, hour after hour, day after day. You're moving, you're sweating, you're working harder than ever. But when you look around, you're still in exactly the same place. That is what comparison often feels like. It gives us movement without meaning, progress without peace. We tell ourselves, "I'll finally relax when I earn more, when I lose weight, when I find the perfect partner, when I travel more, when people admire me, when my life finally looks successful." But that day never arrives because the mind always creates another condition, another milestone, another reason to postpone happiness. The truth is, many people aren't chasing their dreams. They're chasing the feeling of finally being enough. And those are two very different things. Dreams inspire. Comparison exhausts. Dreams bring purpose. Comparison creates pressure. Dreams invite growth. Comparison convinces you that you're already behind. But behind whom? Who decided that life should unfold according to one schedule? Some flowers bloom in early spring. Others wait until late summer. Neither flower apologizes for its season. The oak tree doesn't envy the cherry blossom. The river doesn't rush because the wind moves faster. Nature has never been in a hurry. Yet somehow, everything arrives exactly when it should. Perhaps we have forgotten that lesson. Perhaps we have allowed clocks, calendars, and other people's achievements to convince us that our worth can be measured by speed. But life was never meant to be measured that way. some of the most meaningful moments cannot be rushed. Healing, trust, wisdom, love, inner peace. They all grow quietly, patiently, in their own time. So if you feel like you're falling behind, maybe you're not behind at all. Maybe you're simply growing at the pace your soul was always meant to grow. And perhaps that pace is exactly enough. If the race never truly ends, why do we keep running? Why do we constantly feel that everyone else is living a better life? To understand that, we need to look at the place where comparison has become louder than ever before. A place we carry in our pockets. Every morning, millions of people reach for the same thing. Not a cup of coffee, not a book, their phone. One swipe becomes another, then another. A vacation in Italy, a perfect wedding, a luxury apartment, a dream job, a flawless smile, a life that seems effortlessly beautiful, and within minutes, something inside us quietly changes. Not because our own life became worse, but because someone else's appeared better. This is the quiet illusion of social media. It doesn't ask you to compare. It simply gives you endless opportunities to do so. Imagine walking into a room where everyone is wearing their finest clothes, smiling, laughing, celebrating, but behind every closed door, people are crying, questioning themselves, feeling lonely, fighting battles no one else can see. Now imagine only seeing the party, never the struggle. That is what social media often shows us. The highlights, not the healing, the victories, not the setbacks, the smiles, not the sleepless nights, the destination, not the years of uncertainty. That came before it. And yet, our minds compare our entire lives to someone else's best moments. We compare our ordinary Tuesday to someone's once-in-a-lifetime vacation, our quiet mornings to someone's carefully edited sunset, our unfinished story to someone else's final chapter. No wonder we feel behind. But here's something worth remembering. A photograph captures a moment, not a life. A 10-second video cannot tell you how someone feels when the camera is turned off. Likes are not happiness. Followers are not fulfillment. Success is not always peace. Many people appear to have everything, yet secretly wish for a single quiet evening without anxiety, without pressure, without pretending. The truth is, every person you admire is carrying a burden you cannot see. Everyone, without exception. Some carry grief, some carry fear, some carry loneliness, some carry expectations, some carry exhaustion. The difference is, not everyone posts about it. Social media has changed the speed of comparison. Years ago, you compared yourself to a few people in your neighborhood. Today, you're comparing yourself to millions. Every hour, every day. No human heart was designed to carry that weight. Perhaps that's why we feel tired, even after doing nothing at all. Because comparison is emotional work. It quietly drains our gratitude. It steals our attention. It convinces us that our own life isn't enough. But here's the beautiful irony. The moments that bring the deepest peace rarely become viral. Watching the sunrise, reading by a window, sharing tea with someone you love, walking through the forest, listening to rain, holding someone's hand, sitting quietly without needing to prove anything. These moments cannot be measured by likes, yet they often become the memories we treasure most. Maybe the richest life isn't the one that attracts the most attention. Maybe it's the one that feels the most authentic when no one else is watching. The next time you open your phone, Pause for a moment, take one slow breath, and ask yourself, am I looking for inspiration or permission to believe my own life is enough? Because the answer may quietly change the way you see yourself. If comparison steals our peace, then why do we keep chasing more? Why do we believe that doing more, owning more, and becoming more will finally make us happy? In the next chapter, we'll explore the hidden cost of trying to have everything and why chasing it all may be causing us to lose what matters most. There is a question that very few of us ever stop to ask. What am I actually chasing? More success? More money? More experiences? Or simply the feeling that my life is finally enough? We live in a world that celebrates more productivity, more possessions, more achievements, more followers, more destinations, more everything. We're taught that a full calendar means a meaningful life, that being busy means being important, that slowing down means falling behind. So we keep adding another goal, another commitment, another responsibility, another dream, until eventually our lives become so full, there is no room left to actually live them. Imagine trying to fill a glass that is already overflowing. No matter how much water you pour, none of it stays. It simply spills over the edge. Many of us live exactly this way. We keep adding, believing that one more achievement will finally make us feel complete. But the feeling never lasts, because the problem was never what was missing. The problem was that we never stopped long enough to appreciate what was already there. Have you ever noticed how quickly excitement fades? You buy something you've wanted for months. For a few days, it feels wonderful. Then, it becomes ordinary. You reach a goal, you celebrate. A week later, you're chasing the next one. The human mind adapts incredibly fast. What once felt extraordinary soon becomes normal. This is why a life built only on chasing can never truly satisfy us, because every finish line quietly becomes another starting line. There is nothing wrong with ambition. There is nothing wrong with dreaming big. Dreams give us direction, purpose, hope. But there is a difference between pursuing your dreams and running away from yourself. One is inspired by love, the other by fear. Fear of not being enough, fear of missing out, fear of standing still, fear that if you stop, you might discover you've been running in the wrong direction. Sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is not to move faster, but to stop, to sit quietly, to breathe, to ask yourself, if nobody could see my life, would I still choose this path? That question can change everything, because it separates what truly matters to you from what only impresses other people. The most meaningful parts of life are often invisible. A deep conversation, a peaceful evening, a slow walk beneath the trees, cooking dinner with someone you love, watching rain fall against the window. These moments will never make headlines, but they shape a beautiful life, one quiet moment at a time. Perhaps the richest person isn't the one who owns the most. Perhaps it's the one who finally realizes they already have enough time to notice the sunset, enough love to share with others, enough courage to slow down, enough wisdom to stop measuring life by how much they can collect. Because in the end, no one remembers how busy they were. They remember how present they were, how deeply they loved, how often they laughed, how peacefully they lived. Maybe The greatest success isn't having everything, maybe. It's discovering that the things you truly need have been with you all along. If chasing everything leaves us exhausted, what happens when we choose something completely different? What if missing out isn't something to fear, but something to embrace? In the next chapter, we'll discover the surprising freedom that comes from letting go, and why sometimes the best decision you can make is to simply say, no, this is enough. There was a time when the idea of missing out frightened me. I thought, if I said no, life would move on without me, that opportunities would disappear, that everyone else would be making memories while I stayed behind. Perhaps you felt that way too. You receive an invitation, and even though you're exhausted, you say yes. You scroll through your phone and suddenly feel the need to visit more places, meet more people, buy more things, do more, become more, because somewhere deep inside, you're afraid. That slowing down means falling behind. But what if the opposite is true? What if every time you say yes to everything, you're quietly saying no to yourself? Imagine trying to listen to your favorite song while 100 other songs play at the same time. You wouldn't hear the melody. You'd only hear noise. Life can become exactly like that. Too many commitments, too many comparisons, too many distractions, until the beauty of the present moment disappears beneath the noise. Missing out isn't always a loss. Sometimes it is protection. Every invitation you decline creates space. Every distraction you ignore protects your attention. Every unnecessary race you choose not to run protects your peace. Think about a beautiful garden. It doesn't grow because every seed is planted. It grows because the gardener chooses which plants belong and which weeds must be removed. Your life is no different. Every yes plants something. Every no protects something. The question is, what are you protecting? Your time, your energy, your relationships, your health, your peace? The world often celebrates people who never stop, but nature teaches us a different lesson. The trees do not bloom every season. The ocean does not create waves without moments of calm. Even the sun disappears each evening before returning the next morning. Rest is not the opposite of growth. It is part of growth. There is a quiet confidence in knowing you don't need to attend every event. You don't need to follow every trend. You don't need to chase every opportunity. Because when you try to experience everything, you rarely experience anything deeply. The richest moments in life often happen when nothing extraordinary is happening at all. Reading while rain taps against the window, sharing a slow breakfast with someone you love, watching the sunset without taking a photo, walking through the woods without checking your phone, listening without thinking about what comes next. These moments may never appear online. They may never be admired by strangers, but they become the memories that quietly shape your soul. Perhaps the fear of missing out comes from believing life is happening somewhere else, but life has never been somewhere else. It has always been here, in this breath, this conversation, this sunrise, this ordinary day that will never come again. Maybe the real fear shouldn't be missing out on the world. Maybe it should be missing the beautiful life already unfolding right in front of you. Once we discover that we don't have to chase everything, a new kind of freedom begins to appear. Not the freedom to do more, but the freedom to live differently, to move at a pace that finally feels like our own. There's a quiet kind of freedom that very few people ever discover. It doesn't come from earning more, owning more, or doing more. It comes from finally realizing you don't have to hurry. Somewhere along the way, we began believing that speed was the same as progress. The faster we answered emails, the more successful we seemed. The busier our schedules became, the more valuable we felt. Rest started to feel like laziness. Silence like wasted time. Doing nothing became something to feel guilty about. But have you ever noticed that the most beautiful things in nature never rush? The sunrise never hurries. A flower doesn't bloom overnight. The ocean doesn't apologize for moving with the tide. Even the seasons know exactly when it's time to change. Nature understands something that we have forgotten. Growth cannot be forced. Imagine planting a small seed. Every morning, you dig it up to check if it's growing. You water it too much, move it to different places, constantly worry that it isn't growing fast enough. Would it bloom sooner? Of course not. It would never bloom at all. Sometimes we treat ourselves the same way. We constantly measure, constantly compare, constantly question whether we're moving fast enough. And in doing so, we interrupt the very growth we're hoping for. There is an old saying, the flower that blooms last is no less beautiful. Think about your own life. Perhaps there are dreams that haven't happened yet. Maybe you're still searching for your purpose. Maybe you're rebuilding after a difficult season. Maybe you're healing from something no one else can see. That doesn't mean you're behind. It simply means you're becoming. There is no universal timeline for a meaningful life. Some people find love at 20, others at 60. Some discover their passion as children, others after retirement. Some people change careers in the middle of life. Some begin again after losing everything. Every story has its own rhythm, and every rhythm has its own beauty. Perhaps the pressure you feel isn't coming from life itself. Perhaps it's coming from the belief that your story should look like someone else's, but it never will, because no one else has your journey, your experiences, your lessons, your heart. Your life has always been uniquely yours. When you stop racing, something remarkable happens. You begin noticing the little things again, the warmth of sunlight on your face, the sound of birds early in the morning, the comfort of your favorite chair, a conversation that lasts a little longer, a quiet evening. Without checking the time, these moments have always been there. You were simply moving too fast to see them. Living at your own pace doesn't mean giving up on your dreams. It means refusing to sacrifice your peace in order to reach them. Because what is the purpose of arriving somewhere if you're too exhausted to enjoy being there? Success without peace feels empty. Achievement without presence feels incomplete. But a slower life, a more intentional life, allows you to fully experience the journey itself. And perhaps that is what we've been searching for all along. Not a faster life, not a bigger life, but a deeper one. A life where every sunrise feels like a gift. Every conversation feels meaningful. Every ordinary moment becomes extraordinary. simply because you were fully there to experience it. Maybe you don't need more time. Maybe you simply need to be more present with the time you already have. When you finally stop racing and begin living at your own pace, something beautiful begins to happen. You no longer fear what you're missing because you become fully present in what you already have. And that presence may be the greatest freedom of all. There is a quiet moment that changes everything. It doesn't happen when life becomes easier or when your schedule finally clears. It happens the moment you realize that this moment is your life, not tomorrow, not next month, not after you've reached every goal. Right now, for years, many of us live as if happiness is waiting somewhere in the future. I'll be happy when I earn more, when I lose weight, when I find the right relationship, when I move to a better place, when life finally slows down. But have you noticed? Every time one dream comes true, another one quietly takes its place. The future keeps moving, and before we realize it, we've spent years preparing to live instead of living. Imagine sitting beside a peaceful lake. The water is perfectly still. The air is cool. The sun is beginning to set. Birds are singing in the distance. Yet, instead of noticing the beauty around you, you're thinking about tomorrow's meeting, next month's bills, someone else's vacation, or a life you wish you had. Your body is beside the lake, but your mind is somewhere else. How many beautiful moments have we missed simply because we weren't truly there? Presence is a quiet kind of courage. It asks us to stop escaping, to stop rehearsing the future, to stop replaying the past, and to gently return to the only place where life actually exists, here, right now. Take a slow breath. Notice the air entering your lungs, the sound around you, the feeling of your feet resting on the ground. For this one small moment, nothing is missing. Nothing needs to be fixed. Nothing needs to be proven. This is enough. The world constantly tells us to look ahead, to plan, to prepare. And there is wisdom in planning, but there is also wisdom in pausing. Because the moments that become our most treasured memories rarely announce themselves. A quiet dinner with family, a long conversation with a friend, a child laughing, rain against the window, the smell of fresh coffee, the warmth of morning sunlight. These moments don't ask for attention. They simply ask for your presence. Perhaps the opposite of FOMO isn't staying home. It isn't avoiding people. It isn't giving up your dreams. Perhaps the opposite of FOMO is trust. Trusting that your life doesn't need to look like anyone else's. Trusting that what is meant for you will not pass you by. Trusting that your journey doesn't have to move faster to become meaningful. The moment you stop measuring your life against everyone else's, you begin to notice just how beautiful your own life already is. Not because it's perfect, but because it's real. And real life has a quiet beauty that comparison can never see. So today, walk a little slower, listen a little longer, put your phone away for a few precious minutes, watch the sky, feel the breeze, smile at a stranger, call someone you love. Because one day, you'll realize these ordinary moments were never ordinary at all. They were your life. We've talked about comparison, about slowing down, about letting go of the fear of missing out. Now, there's only one truth left to remember. Your life has never been running late. It has been unfolding exactly one moment at a time. Take one slow breath. Let your shoulders relax. for just a few moments. There is nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to achieve, no one you need to become. Simply be here. If you've listened this far, perhaps you've recognized something within yourself. The quiet pressure to keep up, the endless comparison, the fear that everyone else is moving forward while you're somehow falling behind. But what if that feeling has never been telling you the truth? What if your life was never meant to look like anyone else's? Imagine standing in a forest. Around you are hundreds of trees. Some are tall, some are small, some are just beginning to grow. Others have stood there for hundreds of years. Not one tree looks at another and wonders why it isn't growing faster. The oak doesn't envy the pine. The cherry blossom doesn't apologize for blooming in spring instead of autumn. Each one follows its own season, its own rhythm, its own purpose. Perhaps you were meant to do the same. Maybe you aren't behind. Maybe you're simply growing in a season that no one else can fully understand. Life has never been a race. It has always been a journey, a quiet unfolding, one sunrise, one conversation, one ordinary day at a time. Years from now, you probably won't remember how many notifications you answered, how many likes you received, or how perfectly your life appeared online. But you will remember the people who made you feel loved, the mornings when the sun warmed your face, the laughter that came unexpectedly, the walks that cleared your mind, the evenings when you finally felt at peace. Those moments are not distractions from life. They are life. So if today you feel like you're moving more slowly than everyone else, don't rush. If you're healing, take the time you need. If you're beginning again, begin gently. If you're resting, rest without guilt, because flowers do not bloom by comparing themselves to other flowers. They bloom by receiving enough sunlight, enough rain, and enough time. Give yourself that same kindness. Trust your own path. Celebrate your own progress. Honor your own pace. And remember, the life you're searching for isn't waiting for you. Somewhere in the future. It begins with this breath, this moment, this choice to be fully present, because peace has never belonged to those who chased everything. It belongs to those who finally realized they already had enough. Thank you for spending these moments with me. If this conversation brought you even a little more peace, I hope you'll carry it with you long after this video ends. If it spoke to your heart, please consider subscribing to English with Peace, where we explore mindfulness, emotional healing, and the quiet wisdom that helps us live with greater presence and purpose. And if someone you love has been feeling overwhelmed by comparison or the fear of falling behind, share this video with them. Sometimes a few gentle words can change someone's entire day. Until we meet again, take care of yourself, move at your own pace, breathe deeply, and remember, you are not behind. You are exactly where your journey needs you to be.